compromising Indian defense and national security is going to cost Bangladesh highly. The Modi government has taken a huge step and banned any Bangladeshi imports through all land borders along India's 7 sisters or northeastern states. Now, this could impact Bangladesh's exports to the tune of $700 million, or nearly 42% of Dhaka's total exports to India.
They want good bilateral relations with India, they want free trade with India, they want to increase their exports to India.
But that's not all. The Indian military has also sent another warning to the non-elected interim Yunus government with massive war games right along the Bangladesh border. After the dominant victory in Operation Sindoor against Pakistan, India is now prepping for a third front against Bangladesh's deep state by flexing its muscles near the strategically located Siliguri Corridor. Labelled as Teesta Prahar, the massive Indian military exercise is meant to test the force's operational readiness in riverine terrain, just like it exists inside Bangladesh. The military drills were conducted at the Teesta field firing range, which lies close proximity to the Chicken's Net as well as the Bangladesh border. Now, this follows a recent secret visit by Chinese officials to an airbase in Bangladesh's Lalmonirhat, barely a stone's throw away from India's strategic land corridor. We'll tell you all about this World War II era airfield and why China's presence here could compromise India's national security. So is Yunus now threatening India's security in collaboration with China?
They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean.
And is the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force preparing for another Operation Sindoor, this time against Bangladesh? Firstly, given how satellite images have confirmed Indian Air Force strikes on at least 6 Pakistani air bases, and given the utter failure of Pakistan's Chinese-origin HQ-9 air defense system against India, Yunus must think real hard if the CCP will be able to come to his aid if he compromises India's sovereignty, especially its northeastern states. Bangladesh's interim government has racked up tensions with India, and the Indian Army's massive war games could be seen as a warning to the non-elected interim government in Dhaka: back the right off or else. The full-blown tactical exercise saw active participation from key combat and supporting elements, including the infantry, artillery, armored corps, mechanized infantry, para-special forces and army aviation. The large-scale field exercise was aimed at coordination of various arms and services under realistic battlefield conditions. A source revealed to the Telegraph, quote, "The highlight of the drill was the deployment and validation of newly inducted next-generation weapon systems, military platforms and advanced battlefield technologies, which reflect the Indian Army's continued focus on modernization," unquote. The underlying objective of the drill was clear: to deliver a bold message to both China and Bangladesh, indicating India's operational readiness against any misadventures. Indian Defense Ministry has had a special focus on the northeastern border region since the beginning of this year. Multiple military drills have been held, ranging from the Indian Air Force's Devil's Strike to Sarv Shakti by Indian Army's Tri Shakti Corps. A defense PRO had revealed to ANI, quote, "The exercise showcased the seamless collaboration between manned platforms and unmanned systems at the tactical level, a key capability in preparing for multi-domain operations," adding, "This validation reaffirms its ability to absorb and operationalize cutting-edge technologies," unquote. The timing of the recent exercise cannot be coincidental, as it comes right after Indian agencies received inputs regarding Chinese officials' secret visit to Bangladeshi airbase, barely 40 kilometers from India's Chicken's Neck. Now, an airbase within the range of Indian Pinaka and artillery is not a good idea, let alone missiles like Scalp and BrahMos that easily meet Chinese-origin air defenses of Pakistan. But still, it could be used for espionage by China to monitor Indian troop positions close to the strategic Doklam Plateau. According to media reports citing Indian intelligence agencies, the Chinese delegation also visited several other areas near the Indian border. The move has raised concerns among defense circles. Remember, Bangladesh has invited China to revive this World War II era airfield in Lalmonirhat to develop it into a modern airbase. According to Lokmat Times, a Pakistani company will be involved in the construction of this airbase, further raising concerns of Pakistani spy agency, the ISI's increasing footprint in Bangladesh ever since the ouster of democratically elected Sheikh Hasina government. Even the idea of China stationing any fighter jets in such close proximity to Siliguri Corridor is just unacceptable. India's economic and diplomatic curbs on Dhaka, as well as military drills in the region, could be seen as a pressure tactic. Pro-China Yunus must not take any decision before free and fair elections later this year that jeopardize India-Bangladesh relations forever. An airbase in this region could be used as a hub for intelligence gathering by monitoring Indian military preparations. Yunus government has been provoking India with repeated comments on the northeast. First, it was the landlocked jibe during Yunus's visit to China. Then, a Yunus government aide suggested Bangladesh military should attack India's seven sister states if India attacked Pakistan, though Yunus distanced himself from this comment. Yunus also recently called for Bangladesh's economic integration with Nepal, Bhutan and the seven sister states in India. If Yunus wants such economic integration, then first, he must never compromise India's national defense and security by inviting China or Pakistan to build this airbase. If he asks, then India can help him develop the same.
ट्रेड जो है बांग्लादेश से जो भारत आता है वो केवल और केवल कोलकाता पोर्ट और नवा शिवा मुंबई पोर्ट से आए.
So now, the Modi government has banned all Bangladeshi exports through land borders to India, nipping Yunus's plan in the bud. Key goods like garments, processed food and plastic items are limited to select seaports or barred from land routes entirely. Bangladeshi garments worth $680 million annually can now enter India only through two designated seaports instead of land routes which were earlier the primary trade arteries. Now this is also retaliation to Bangladesh restricting entry of Indian goods through these land ports. India, with a no-nonsense approach, aims to ensure fairness in bilateral trade, hitting Bangladesh's primary export, the ready-made garments industry. As mentioned, Dhaka stands to suffer a $770 million bill, amounting to nearly 42% of total bilateral exports. A report by GTRI stated, quote, "The restrictions look like India's response to Dhaka restricting imports from India on a large number of items and diplomatic pivot towards China," unquote. The Indian government now is working to improve accessibility to the vulnerable Siliguri Corridor by approving the construction of a high-speed 4-lane highway from Shillong in Meghalaya to Silchar in Assam. The 166.8 kilometer long corridor has been sanctioned at a cost of 22,800 crore rupees. The plan is to boost connectivity in the region with an international multimodal transport route through Myanmar by providing an alternate maritime route between the northeastern states of India and Kolkata for seaborne cargo, bypassing Bangladesh altogether. Expected to be completed by 2030, the high-speed corridor will be a major connectivity link for the entire northeastern region, spurring economic activities in this difficult terrain. Now, this is also being seen as a direct counter to Yunus's landlocked jibe. Now, Bangladesh itself risks its land borders becoming locked. At the center of this project is the Karadan Multimodal Transit Transport Project in Myanmar. Meanwhile, Turkey has poked India again. After arming Pakistan with drones and loitering munitions to be used against India, now a Turkish NGO, allegedly with Islamist links in Dhaka, displayed maps of so-called Greater Bangladesh that compromised several Indian regions. This controversial Greater Bangladesh map includes Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and the entire northeast region, reportedly appeared in university halls across Dhaka. Yunus must be careful to curb such nonsense, else India might see this as an invitation to widen the Siliguri Corridor instead. But what do you believe? Amid India-Pakistan tensions, is China colluding with Bangladesh to open a third front against India? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.